But you will cheat. You will cheat.
Hey, look, everybody keeps saying I'm cheating for no reason.
Nice composure, good. Two underneath when he leans on you. Don't give him time. That's it.
Crawford's visit to Anthony Joshua's training camp ahead of the Jake Paul fight has created major buzz in the boxing world. Crawford carefully observes Joshua's sessions, giving him elite-level insight and motivation. Having a pound-for-pound superstar in camp raises the intensity and shows just how seriously Joshua is preparing for fight night.
Good. Good. Nice composure, good. Two underneath when he leans on you. Don't give him time.
Anthony Joshua is always open to learning from every fighter he meets, absorbing different techniques and perspectives. He enjoys exchanging knowledge and uses each lesson to refine his style. This constant willingness to grow keeps him improving and evolving with every camp.
A happy fighter is a good fighter. And each individual, uses different things and finds out different ways to keep them occupied and keep them happy. And for me,
Joshua is pushing himself through extremely demanding training sessions designed to strengthen his body and sharpen his reactions. He uses deep ice baths to reduce inflammation and recover faster, allowing him to attack each workout at full power. After recovering, he jumps straight into tough drills that challenge his strength, speed, and focus, showing how committed he is to preparing at the highest level. Combat sports analyst Wade Plemons believes Joshua should handle Jake Paul with complete authority. He argues that this isn't a fight Joshua should drag out or use to feel things out. With his heavyweight resume and reputation, Wade insists Joshua must finish the fight quickly. Allowing the bout to last several rounds could create unnecessary questions about Joshua's dominance. With casual and influencer boxing fans watching closely, Wade says Joshua should set the tone immediately and secure a fast, decisive win.
I think could be a little bit of a feeling out first round for AJ too. Then Jake wins to me. And I know that sounds like, oh, but it's true, bro. AJ shouldn't be going rounds with Jake. He just shouldn't. That's a two-time world champion. You know what I'm saying?
Olympic gold medalist,
gold medalist, two-time world champion. You shouldn't be going rounds with Jake. Jake hasn't fought anybody in, I don't know where they currently rank Tommy Fury, but he hasn't fought anybody in the top 50 in any weight division he's participated in. Mm-hmm. So if that guy's going 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds with you, cooked. But I think if you're putting money on it, I would say AJ round 3 maybe.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Everybody's kind of jumping on the AJ round 2. And I'm like, Jake's tough. Could he use his feet for a little bit longer than people imagine? Is it going to be tougher for AJ to land on him early maybe? But I think at a certain point, the cat corrals the mouse a little bit. But we'll see, dude. Who knows? Jake's got some good guys in camp. He brought in Lawrence Okoli. Mm-hmm. Big Lawrence Okoli now, too. Did you see him?
I remember being in Dubai, 3 years ago. Do you remember 3 years ago when we were, commentated, for Deji vs. Merva. Yeah. And funny enough, from that fight week, Jake Paul went and hung out and went shooting of AJ. Yeah. I think laser tag of AJ.
Yeah.
3 years ago on the same week.
Wild. That entire week now is coming to full fruition. It was here in Dubai. It was Jake on commentary. First time I had met Jake. Talking shit to Tommy Fury. Lawrence Okoli was on commentary with me, and I was like, how are you a cruiserweight? Because at that time, he was still a cruiserweight. And I was like, how the fuck are you a cruiserweight? You're massive. And sure enough, now he's 265-pound heavyweight. He's way too big, by the way. But, he's got Lawrence in camp. He's got Jared Anderson in camp.
Anthony Joshua's camp for the Jake Paul fight looks very different from his usual preparations. Known for structured routines and controlled sparring, Joshua has now turned up the intensity with a faster pace and a more aggressive training style. This shift shows that he isn't taking Jake lightly and is preparing with even more urgency than usual. Joshua revealing his weight at around 110 kilograms or about 243 pounds surprised many analysts. Throughout his career, his weight rarely changed much, but this time he cut nearly 20 pounds in a short period. At his age, dropping weight this quickly is challenging and affects strength, hydration, and recovery. It highlights how seriously he is preparing for Jake Paul, but it also carries risks. While being lighter may improve his movement, it could slightly reduce his natural heavyweight power. Joshua appears to be balancing both staying light enough to move but strong enough to remain dangerous.
Fundamentally, you're still living life as normal. You're not restricting yourself that much. You know, if you're eating 2 pieces of chicken, maybe you just eat a piece of... You see what I mean? You're not going to the extreme to try and actually dehydrate yourself or anything like that. It's very different than having to actually hit a specific weight, all right? And to do that in a relatively short space of time, because this fight's, you know, not that long has it been announced, and it's not that long until the fight. It's only 2 weeks away. Eddie Hearn was talking about AJ weighing 265 a couple of days ago. So you're thinking, okay, 20 pounds in 3 weeks? That's not ideal for someone who, again, is in their mid to late 30s, a year in activity, and crucially has never had to hit a specific weight throughout the course of his career. Never had to do it. All right. So it did have me kind of worrying a little bit and thinking, is this a miscalculation, accepting that? Because in terms of him fighting Jake Paul, he's going to win. I mean, there's no ifs, but he's going to win this fight. It's pretty much a given, all right? But it did have me wondering. Now, AJ, as I said, he took to his social media accounts to show that he's currently weighing 110.6 kg, which is around about 243 US pounds. So that's well under the weight limit. So a lot of people are saying, slam dunk, it's done. Well, I got a few questions on that, because you do have to ask these questions. You're talking about Anthony Joshua, who over the course of the last, 3 years has been solid in the 250s. Hasn't weighed sub 240 or sub 250 since he fought Usyk 3 years ago. And bear in mind, he would have went into camp fully intending to be mobile, speed. He would have spent 3, maybe 4 months working on, what's an ideal weight for that, working on this, that, and the other. So it's not like, a crash diet for the Usyk fight or anything like that. And AJ is someone who loves the resistance training. That seems to be the main thing that he does. And outside of camp, he probably would have thought he was fighting Cassius Chaney, which is the name that a lot of people have.
Former world champion Carl Froch believes Joshua taking the Jake Paul fight makes sense at this stage of his career. With most major fights already behind him, Froch says Joshua doesn't have many new legacy-building options left. This fight brings a huge payday and global attention without hurting Joshua's reputation. Froch also notes that a future fight with Tyson Fury could still happen, which would be one of the biggest events in boxing. Beyond that, Froch thinks Joshua may not have much left to chase, so this fight is a smart business move rather than a legacy fight.
And for me, he's found his limit now, found his level, so now he needs to look at his health and look at what he's got after boxing. And if he can make 50 mil, whatever he's making, to fight fucking in the clown world against the clown show, do you know what I mean? Then take the money, man. Yeah. Take it and go and live your life. I can't see AJ fighting for a world title again. I don't know who he fights and who he would beat and how he would get that desire back to become a world champion. But Eddie Hearn's got to sell it and try and say AJ's going to be world champ again. 3-time world champ, but I'm not buying into that bullshit. I think AJ's had a great career. He's done massive things for professional boxing, and now he's at the end of his career and he's cashing out. And who can blame him? I'd do exactly the same at the end of my career. I'd fight fucking Jake Paul for mega money and then drop the mic and then go home. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to knock him for doing it.
As much as you say that his career is maybe done after this, he has obviously made the jump, left Ben Davison, gone to Usyk. Do you think that could maybe reignite a flame in AJ? Maybe change something that you might not believe is there at the moment?
No, he's too old. Too old. I've been 36, 37 years old, but I've never had 150 million quid in the bank. Do you know what I mean? And I think the combination of his age, the fact that he's been flattened a couple of times, and now he's making mega money. Why is he going to try and become a world champion again? He's got to train for 10 weeks and spar really hard sparring. And then he's got to get in the ring on Fight Night with 10-ounce gloves against somebody like Dubois, or he's not going to fight Usyk again. Maybe he sticks around and fights Tyson Fury, because that's another commercial mega fight, which is actually fighting somebody who's on the same level.
Johnny Nelson offers a more serious perspective on Jake Paul's situation. Instead of focusing only on Joshua, he warns that Jake could face severe consequences if he is hit cleanly by a powerful heavyweight. Nelson acknowledges Jake's improvement, but stresses that fighting a former world champion is an entirely different level of danger.